You're watching USA News Hub, your home for breaking headlines, trending sports stories, and exclusive updates from across the nation. What if I told you that the next Australian Open champion is already known? Because everything about Coco Gauff's rise points to one unstoppable conclusion. She's not just ready, she's built for the 2026 Australian Open crown. And here's why the tennis world needs to brace itself. When we look ahead to the Australian Open 2026, there's one name that keeps coming up over and over again. One player whose momentum, maturity, mental strength, and unstoppable drive make her the most dangerous contender in the field. That name is Coco Gauff. The 21-year-old American star has carved her place among tennis royalty, maintaining a top 3 ranking throughout almost the entire 2025 season and finishing world number 3 for the 3rd straight year. And what separates Gauff from the rest isn't just raw talent, it's her evolution, her hunger, her mindset, her ability to adjust, adapt, and conquer. Let's break down exactly why Coco Gauff is poised to lift the Daphne Akhurst Memorial Cup in January 2026, and why the world needs to take this prediction seriously. 1. The Roland Garros breakthrough that changed everything. One of the biggest reasons Gauff is a true favorite for the 2026 Australian Open is her extraordinary Roland Garros 2025 run. Her victory over world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka wasn't just a win, it was a declaration. Down a set. Momentum slipping. Crowd roaring. Pressure at its peak. Most players would fold. Coco didn't. She stormed back to win 6-7, 5, 6-2, 6-4, pulling off one of the most dramatic comebacks of the season. That match told us everything about who she is. Heavy check mark, mentally unbreakable. Heavy check mark, physically unstoppable. Heavy check mark, emotionally mature. Heavy check mark, built for big stages. This was her 2nd Grand Slam title, just under 2 years after her iconic 2023 US Open triumph, another event held on a hard court surface almost identical to Melbourne's. When a player wins slams on both clay and hard courts before age 22, they're not just talented. They're special. 2. Dominance in China. The Wuhan WTA 1000 title. Rolling into late 2025, Gauff didn't slow down. She exploded. Her run at the WTA 1000 Wuhan Open was a masterclass in confidence, control, and championship mentality. She didn't lose a single set. Not one, and the final, facing her former doubles partner Jessica Pegula, Gauff locked in, showing the world that business is business, even when you're facing someone you know well. She took the title 6-4, 7-5, earning her first Wuhan crown and sending a signal to the rest of the WTA. She's peaking at the perfect time, 9-1 record in China. That is elite. That is slam-winning form. 3. Consistency. 4 finals. Multiple titles, years of growth. You cannot win the Australian Open by luck. You win it by consistency. And consistency is where Coco Gauff has separated herself from the pack. In 2025 alone, she reached the finals of Heavy Checkmark Madrid WTA 1000, Heavy Checkmark Rome WTA 1000, Heavy Checkmark Roland Garros, which she won. Heavy checkmark Wuhan WTA 1000, which she also won. No player without elite mental strength gets to 4 major finals in a single season. No player without the discipline of a champion stays in the top 3 for nearly every week of the year. Coco Gauff is not streaky. She is stable, reliable, elite. That's how Australian Open champions are built. 4. Success in doubles equals better singles play. In 2025, we also saw Gauff shine as a doubles leader. Her partnership with McCartney Kessler in Montreal produced one of the most thrilling doubles title runs of the season, including a victory over number 3 seeds Taylor Townsend and Zhang Shuai. Why does this matter? Because double sharpens heavy checkmark reflexes, heavy checkmark net play, heavy checkmark court awareness, heavy checkmark tactical creativity. Heavy checkmark serving under pressure. These are the exact tools needed in Melbourne, where the conditions reward aggressive shot-making and swift adjustments. Double success has historically benefited players like Serena Williams, Ash Barty, and Justine Henin. Coco is next in that lineage. 5. The serve transformation, a game changer. Let's talk about the improvement that might make the biggest difference in Melbourne, her serve. Gauff and her team made a brilliant strategic move by bringing in Gavin McMillan, the biometric specialist who revolutionized Aryna Sabalenka's serve when she went from double-fault disaster to ace-machine powerhouse. Since McMillan joined the Gauff camp, her serve has, heavy checkmark, become more consistent. Heavy checkmark, become more aggressive. Heavy checkmark, become a true weapon, and all of that happened in months, not years. McMillan plus Gauff equals a dangerous combination. With a cleaner, more explosive serve, Gauff becomes extremely difficult to break, a key factor on the Australian Open's fast hard courts. 6. Maturity beyond her years. At 21, Coco Gauff already talks like a seasoned champion. She embraces criticism. She welcomes new coaching philosophies. She actively works to evolve her game. Her own words say it best: "I feel like I'm constantly trying to evolve and get better." Sometimes, a new perspective helps. This is the mindset of an athlete who will be at the top for a decade. This is the mindset that wins the Australian Open. 7. Melbourne experience. She's been here before. This isn't unfamiliar territory for Coco. She has already achieved heavy checkmark 2024 Australian Open semi-final. Heavy checkmark 2025 Australian Open quarter-final. That means she has experience with Melbourne's extreme heat. Comfort on the surface. Familiarity with the crowd. Understanding of the rhythm of Australian summer tennis. She knows what it feels like to go deep in Melbourne. Now she's ready to finish the job. 8. The numbers don't lie. Slam champions win early. History tells us something important. Champions who win 2 slams before age 22 almost always go on to win many more. Examples: Serena Williams, Steffi Graf, Monica Seles, Maria Sharapova, Justine Henin. IGA Swiatek. Coco Gauff is now officially in this elite group. And players in this group peak early in the year, especially in Australia. Confidence, experience, upgraded technique, maturity, championship mentality. Everything is aligned for Coco Gauff in 2026, enters the new season as heavy checkmark, a top 3 player. Heavy checkmark, a multi-slam champion. Heavy checkmark, a WTA 1000 champion. Heavy checkmark, a mentally stronger, technically superior version of herself. The Australian Open is the perfect stage for her next career breakthrough. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that's shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.